Resuming hearing, lead counsel to the first respondent, Inec, Professor Paul Anadabayeseyen, put forward schedules for its defense, which include schedule of witnesses to be called, schedule of forms EC8A to EC8E, and whole schedule of the beavers machine and schedule of the tendering of the beavers machine. Lead counsel to the petitioners, GBOYEGA and the APC, Lateef Fagbemiyesien, observed that the schedules of EC8A to EC8E should have supposedly been marked in a column as exhibit, and also that since the petitioners have not been privileged to examine the beavers machine, the schedule dealing with the beavers cannot be justified. Fagbemiyesien also observed that columns 7 and 8 dealing with the accreditation of EC8A and physical inspection on accreditation of beavers are matters of evidence which, if not examined, cannot form part of the basis of schedule of document. Anadabayeseyen argued that the respondent legal team has the right to plan their schedules as they like. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Tetsukume, however, said the court would not entertain the objection of the plaintiffs on the ground that the column containing the beavers machine was not substantial enough to cause injury in the case, and thereafter accepted all documents and evidence, marking them as exhibits. The documents and evidence comprise of forms EC8A to EC8E, beavers machines, as well as beavers reports employed in affected polling units across Osun State. Fagbemiyesien again raised an observation based on a fundamental procedural irregularity, since what Inec sought to tender was the schedule of the documents in evidence and not the content of the schedule. It then submitted that while an application to tender the content should have been applied for, the court should also put into cognizance that what were examined by the petitioners are what are being tendered by the respondents, amounting to infringement on the right of fair hearing. Fagbemi moved that the order admitting the documents contained in the schedules be set aside. Anadabayeseyen urged the court to further direct that the contents of the documents in evidence be tendered without further delay, just as he told the court that he had his witness ready to be presented at the next date of adjournment. Lead counsel Adeleke and the PDP, Onyechi Piasu SAN and Alex Izion SAN agreed that there was a procedural issue in the tendering of the document. They considered that the portion where the said documents were admitted should be set aside so that the Inec counsel can retender the documents in question. Justice Kume then vacated the order admitting the content. Anadabayeseyen further pleaded with the court to allow him tender forms EC8A to EC8E series and the attached document properly in forms of R.ACH2, 3 and 4 for the petitioners to examine. Counsel to the plaintiffs, OYETOLA and the APC, Adeleke raised objections which would be reserved till the final written address. As at the time of filing the report, the respondent's defense is being heard as adjourned by Justice Tetsukume on Tuesday. In Osogbo, Joshua Wojde, NT News.